Should you buy virtual reality for sim racing in 2025 or 2026? We're going to find out in this video. This is a brutally honest and risky video I'm doing here because the guys at Bigscreen have given me what I believe is going to be a Bigscreen Beyond 2 in this box for review. And I'm literally going to unbox it with you. I'm going to connect it with you. And I'm going to see if I can go sim racing right here with this headset with relatively little fuss. Now, obviously, I use the Quest 3, I use the PSVR 2, I use the PIMAX Crystal Light and Super quite a lot, actually, those headsets. So those are going to be comparison points. We're going to see if it works on this PC as well, which is only running a 4060 Ti graphics card. So let's get into it. Firstly, this box, I like the style. It's a very small box, and I'm expecting this to be a very small headset as well, because it is just, well, tiny from what I've seen in the photos. So I'm opening it up, and you can see here on the top-down camera, I hope, that we have Darshan Shanks, aka Shanks, the big Shankmeister, who has signed it here. So this is made in LA, California, and it's got a lot of signatures here, which is quite cool. I like that. And this is the headset. Wow. That's absolutely tiny. That is absolutely tiny. That is a very nice unboxing. That's a very nice initial impression of the headset. Now, I needed to give a scan of my face to Bigscreen Beyond, and I believe it is resulted in this, which should fit my face very comfortably. And it seems like it does, so that's fantastic. What else do we have here? We have a little strap as well. Super lightweight at the moment. And then we have a power cable here, and here I think we have lens inserts. So maybe these are custom lenses have come actually. Ah, well, I don't need them right now actually because I've got contacts in. But custom lenses, that's very cool. And there is another cable at the back here as well. So there we go. We've got another cable and we have a cleaning cloth, I believe. So that is super lightweight. I will say there are no controllers here and there is no base station. And I said to Bigscreen Beyond, I don't have a base station because from a PIMAX Crystals, I don't use one. They have inside-out tracking. This doesn't have inside-out tracking, so they did send me, in addition, something's just fallen there. They did send me, in addition, this as well. So this is a Vive Pro base station. Okay, so we're going to see if I can work this out. Where's my gasket gone? This is my gasket, and I'm guessing this should just snap in. Yeah, it looks like there's subtle magnets there. And I'm going to guess as well that this should just clip in here. I'm just literally guessing this because I want to see how easy this is to do. And again, I've done... Obviously, I don't want to break it, but I think that's it. This is completely blacked out. I cannot see anything. There is 100% zero light leakage here. This is so different from my PSVR 1 back in the day and PSVR 2 that I feel like they let a lot of light in just for safety. Here, I cannot see any light whatsoever. I'm very, 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 very impressed by the comfort and the light isolation here. That's great. Okay, I like that. Whoa! The lights are bright. Now, I can see that my eyelashes have already smudged the lenses. You might not be able to see. I don't mind that too much. I have this a lot on basically all my headsets, and basically I just keep a cleaning cloth nearby. So you can see there a bit of smudging on the lenses, but I don't mind that too much because I know that I'm getting good light isolation. Now, what we need to do to connect this to the PC, we might basically be there almost in connecting it to the PC, which is crazy. This is a base station. I don't really know how this works, so we'll plug it. We'll plug the headset in and see what happens. I've got two cables. Oh, hang on a second. I've got a little breakout box here. Okay, so that looks like it's just going to be one cable from the headset going into the breakout box, if I'm doing that correctly. And then I've got two USBs, which I'm going to imagine are going to need to go into USB 3.0 at least ports. And I've got one display port. Remember, I'm not running this on a crazy graphics card, okay? I'm running this on a really entry-level graphics card. It's a very, very cute headset, actually. I like that so far. How sturdy and stable it's going to be just with that strap, I don't know. All right, so it says here that this orange end goes into here. There we go. And it says that this blue end goes into the headset somehow. Yes, I see it here. Okay. Shall we see what happens when I plug it in? Why not? So all I'm going to do is plug in these 3 things to the PC. I believe by chance I have these 3 ports available. Right? Yes, I do. Okay, so I literally just plugged it into my computer and it came up with a Steam VR prompt. Using a VR headset, install Steam VR. So I don't even have Steam VR installed on here, which is kind of interesting because I have used my PIMAX Crystal Lite on this PC in iRacing though, in iRacing. So I wonder what will happen if I go into iRacing on this now. Will it already pick up? It's not going to do any tracking, surely, until I get that base station connected. Now, I'm not sure about this cable here on the side. It doesn't feel that comfortable, I've got to be honest. And I can't, to be clear, I can't see anything, but it looked like there was some yellow light on. So I'm going to have a look. Some blue light. Is there a blue light on here? Is it just reflecting? Yes, there is some purple light on here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start iRacing and see what happens. Okay, so here we are in the Bigscreen Beyond 2 in ACC doing some sim racing, but I'm not in the same location. What happened? Well, I promised you, I'm going to be really honest and transparent. So, Bigscreen Beyond 2 headset does not have inside-out tracking. So in order to track where your head is looking, it doesn't have cameras on the inside. That means it needs an external base station. Now, I don't have an external base station, so Bigscreen very kindly sent me one with the package for this review headset. Now, unfortunately, it turned out that that base station had a US plug on it, and I'm not in the USA, so I just needed to come here, plug it into this PC. I have an adapter for a UK-US thing, and I have the base station in. That's not, for me, that's not Bigscreen's fault. I don't think it reflects badly on the headset, although I would say it is an example of the added faff that external base stations bring. But just to explain why I'm here. Now, once I had that base station connected, actually the headset picked up like a dream. So the firmware for it looks really light, or there's a utility software Bigscreen have that worked really nicely, looks to be super lightweight. I've switched it from 75 Hz to 90 Hz in there. I've updated the firmware in that utility, so I quite like that. That's quite lightweight. And then I jumped into ACC, and that's where we are now. Now, I would say this is meant to be running at 90 Hz, but I don't think we're running at 90. I'm getting some stutters. This isn't smooth. That's not inherently a problem because I'm expecting to have to do a lot of tuning with this headset, as I do with all my headsets, including the PIMAX Crystal headsets. However, I'm a little bit surprised because my PIMAX Crystal Lite does run ACC at 90 Hz, sometimes even 120, and I believe the PIMAX Crystal Lite has slightly more pixels than the Bigscreen Beyond 2, although they're both 2 really high quality headsets, like you're really splitting hairs there. But I'm a bit surprised out of the box this isn't quite as smooth as where I got to my PIMAX Crystal Lite. However, I'm sure I can tweak it. Now, when it comes to the screen, this is a 90 Hz. This is a 90 Hz panel, and the first thing I notice is the colors. Like, this is a micro OLED display, and I feel I can tell it. It's nice being back in an OLED, and I can see really vividly, for example, these yellows, and the yellows on the dash against the black. The blacks are real. The contrast is really good. The blacks are black here. There's nothing that's kind of like grey-ish. So this is obviously a good feature for the Bigscreen Beyond, being that micro OLED display. The smoothness of it is definitely the game is running fairly choppily. But I have to say, it still feels pleasant inside the headset, even though the game's running choppily. I have a feeling this might look worse on the screen than it does in the headset, and I can't quite explain that, but it must be something to do with the panel or something. It feels like quite a nice place to be, and I'm able to deal with these frame drops coming in late here at Monza. The other thing I've noticed is that the world scale, the feeling of scale in this headset, in ACC at least, is really good. Like, stuff feels big. Those cars ahead, even though the level of detail's popping in and out, that feels like a Ferrari 488 GT3. I very rarely mention it, but I've driven that car in real life, and that is how it looks. Like, really low down, really aggressive, massive rear wing, Ferrari styling. You know, it's not the highest graphical quality here, but that is how the car feels in terms of scale and size, so I quite like that. Obviously, we have to talk about the form factor. Now, it's not all rainbows here, because firstly, yes, it's incredible having this form factor. Firstly, it's just nice having my forehead and like space around here free. Secondly, because it is ultimately light, I feel like I've been able to get this quite tight with the head strap. So the head strap is tight, it's really pushing into my face, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable, and I think that's because partly, like I said, it's lightweight, but also because of this custom face mask that I was a bit cynical about. I was like, hang on, that's a bit much if you've got to scan your face in order to receive the headset. But now I get it, because now I've tightened this strap tight, the headset is being compressed into my face, but it's doing it in a comfortable way. It's not hitting parts of my face that would be uncomfortable, like the top of my nose or the ridges around my eyes. It's just kind of like sinking into my face. So that has worked really nicely for me. That's actually a nice touch. And I feel like I like the material it's made out of. It feels like it's designed to compress. Now, I did check in the box as I came over here. There is some other stuff in the box. For example, there is a top strap that I'm not using. There are some IPD adjustments as well that I'm just running stock at the moment. It seems to be pretty good with my IPD. But what I'm saying is there's more tweaks I can and will be making. But in this video, as I said from the outset, I want to show you, is VR sim racing going to be big in 2025, 2026? If so, it needs to be relatively plug and play. And so far, base station quirk aside, which is kind of separate, this is working very well from a plug and play perspective. Like, this is 100% drivable. I can 100% recommend this if you decide to pick it up, and I can feel confident that if you have a beastly PC, because this is our RTX 4090 graphics card, so there's a lot of power going into this thing, a lot of VRAM going in. We're not short on power. In my other PC I was going to run this on is a 4060 Ti, so I don't know how this is going to run on the 4060 Ti, but if you have a beastly graphics card, for me, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to get the visual quality up close to my PIMAX Crystal Lite. That's my hunch. My PIMAX Crystal Super just still feels on an absolutely different level. Like, that headset is absolutely insane when it comes to the visual quality. Massive, massive, massive overkill. Very difficult to run, but it has headroom on the visual quality. This feels more like in the PIMAX Crystal Lite range, albeit it's an OLED, which is really coming into its strength now in this time of day. You can see the illumination, and this is where you want to have those absolute blacks. You don't want to have light leakage. You don't want to have greys. This is awesome. This is very, very, very nice. Now, I do believe the reason why Bigscreen Beyond have given me this headset to review at this time is that they're doing some sim racing promotions. I believe if you buy the headset, you might get a free pair of gloves. I may also have an affiliate link, as I understand it, that might give you a 4% discount for a time period. So check all of the details in the description. Bigscreen have not seen this video at all before it's come out. This is 100%, like I said, honest, transparent, and they said, we just want to know what you think, and I always rate that when brands get in touch on that basis, and I'm very glad they did. That's nice. Seeing those white lights there against the black, I'm really glad that I'm racing at Monza at night time. This is showcasing the strength of this helmet, which is the OLED. Oh! And I feel like the frame rate may have improved a bit as well. I love the glow of these lights coming over the cockpit. It's really, really, really immersive in this headset with no light leakage whatsoever. I have a feeling this is a very good headset. That's my hunch. The audio, I'm using my own headphones. I quite like that. You know, these are Astro A50s, I believe. It's a super nice headset. Got that audio coming in. I don't understand why for this one I would use their integrated audio solution. I don't quite get it. If you've got a nice pair of cans. And yeah, it's just been plug and play here. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? Firstly, what do you think of this type of video? Did you like me taking it literally from the box to racing on it and showing you the steps? And also, what do you want me to do with this headset? Do you want me to try and max out the visual quality? Do you want me to try and max out the frame rate, getting a buttery smooth 90? Let me know, because until then, I think I'm just going to be sim racing. Oh, whoa! I've gone too deep. So let me know what you want to see. There'll be more details in the description. This is the Bigscreen Beyond 2 VR headset. Very, very, very interesting. And I think a good addition to the PC VR headset stable. I'll see you in the next one.